Welcome all to Amal. Amal is a non-profit. We mainly work with women who come from very difficult backgrounds. We take them through a cooking program that lasts 9 months. By the end of those 9 months, we try to find them job placements, always in cuisine, so it's always around culinary, so they can start building a new career for themselves as professional chefs and provide better future and a better life for themselves and their families. TA, I'm the cooking class manager and I'll be with you for today's experience.
Yes.
How on the floor are you?
You tighten the bow because you have to get out. Tighten the knot, then we all watch you try to get out. Sometimes you don't have the time.
That could be.
Take the bow.
Oh, they're the charcoal. That's the charcoal stuff, and that, I have one of these.
You want to give me your phone and I'll take yours?
I think we are.
So, welcome to the kitchen. This is where we're going to be learning all of our recipes. As I told you, I will be sending you all of the details later. I'm going to introduce you first to our team, and then to the ingredients that we're going to be using for the tagines, and then we're going to start making all of our tagines. Okay? So, starting with Chef Fatiha right here.
And we can take pictures of the lady?
Sure, yes. So, Chef Fatiha has been here since the very beginning of Amal. Actually, as I will be telling you the story of the organization, we'll get to know her a little bit more. She's started, one of the people who started this whole thing, and she continues to be with us today in the cooking classes. Right here, this is Warda, her lovely assistant. And then this is Karima. Chef Karima, also joining us for the cooking class. And then there is myself. I'll be talking until you're sick of my voice. A variety of tagines. So the question would be, like, what is a tagine to begin with? This is a tagine, this is a tagine, and this is a tagine. Basically, anything that has that conical shaped dish, it's called a tagine. So to make a tagine, you just need the tagine, the dish itself. You make your food in the tagine and it gives you a tagine, basically. So it is not enough to just serve your food in the tagine to be a tagine. For example, couscous is often served in tagines. It's because the clay keeps the heat really well, but it doesn't make it a tagine because it's made in an entirely different pot. While to make tagines today, we're adding all of our ingredients, all of our spices in the tagines. We're going to leave them simmer for an hour and a half until everything is done, and then we serve it in the same tagine. Okay? So the very tiny tagines we're using to hold the spices. So all of the spices that we'll be using, they're in those small tagines. Between the lid and the tagine, creates a little crease and it lets the steam out instead of this little hole. Dishes. It depends what you're cooking in the tagine to determine which tagine you're making. So this one is veggies, vegetables in the tagine, chicken in the tagine, so on and so forth. That's why if you look up tagine recipe, it's basically works, as long as it's in a tagine. But if you want a traditional Moroccan tagine, it all depends on the spices that you're adding to your tagine. Today, we're going to be having 4 spices that are in common between all of us. These are the base of Moroccan cuisine. And then we're going to have 2 oils and 2 herbs. The oils are olive and sunflower that we're mixing together. The taste of olive oil is very lovely, but the problem is it burns very quickly. So you add sunflower to it because it's tasteless and it has a high smoking point, so it supports the cooking time of your olive oil. That way it doesn't burn quite as fast. The herbs are the twins, coriander and parsley, chopped together, mixed up. And then the 4 basic ingredients are going to be salt, black pepper, powdered ginger, and turmeric. In our cuisine, the ginger is always going to be in powder. We don't cook with fresh ginger. However much we add of the ginger, we'll add of the turmeric. And this is going to be the case for all of the tagines, except the chicken tagine. Instead of salt, we swap it to preserved lemons. So, lemons. Yeah. So the way we make the preserved lemons is already with a lot of salt. That's why anytime that we're cooking using preserved lemons, there is no need to add more salt. This recipe is also going to accompany the rest of the recipes that you'll be receiving. But basically, you just need fresh lemons that you clean really well, because we're going to be keeping the skin. And then you want to quarter them to open them like a flower, so don't cut it all the way. And then you take any salt that you have at home, about a tablespoon of said salt, and then you stuff your lemon with salt. In a clean jar, you just need lemons and salt basically. The salt is going to draw out the lemon juice from the lemons, filling up your jar a little bit with lemon juice. If you want to fill it to the top, best to fill it with more lemon juice. That way, when it's going to be fermenting, the lemon juice will caramelize, kind of, and it becomes very thick. That's how you know your lemons are done. So, once you have all of your lemons, the little lemon juice, it's normal to have salt residue in the bottom. You close it, you leave it in a shaded place or in the refrigerator, minimum of 3 to 6 months. Anywhere between 3 and 6 months, this juice is going to become like a syrup, very, very thick. You know that they're ready and you can start using them for anything. These spices that were added, right now Chef Fatiha is going to be demonstrating how she wants you to cut the onions. In the bowls, we all have onions that are going to be the base in our tagine. We might be crying a little bit, it's part of the process, like the onions do. So we can watch her first and then do the same thing with our onions. Thank you very much for your attention and we can get started.
Do you want the white or the red? I like. Take it. I think there's right here. Or here. This one's a little soft.
Go ahead and have it. You want me to? I love that, so that's good.
Okay.
And then it makes
Yeah,
your
we're just,
Okay. Spoon in your mouth. Where you can cut off the...
We're starting with the lemons. Here we're making a small marinade for the chicken.
yes, great, I love
So we're
this.
starting with the lemon. We're keeping the skin out. Skin can be bitter if you cook it for too long, so it's best to use it as garnish at the end.
Okay.
So instead, we're going to be using the pulp. This is the pulp of our lemons. It's just mashed together. So we're gonna add all of the pulp in, leave the skin.
So, question. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong.
What is that? Oh, just the pulp of the lemon?
I of course use it on.
Which one is this one? This is a pepper.
So sunflower.
What is that, pepper?
We prefer to add sunflower because that's
Or
enough.
add just, I can still put it in a fry pan.
We're adding 3 heaping spoons.
3.
Heaping.
Now, how come you don't use fresh
Same thing
ginger?
with the turmeric. 3.
How come you don't use
You
fresh
always have to use turmeric with the,
In general,
This is a turmeric?
it's like a base.
yes, but use it with the ginger or you
Use it with the ginger.
Yeah.
They taste both very differently. Brown just a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Like the olive oil. So the coriander and parsley, we're adding all of it, and the garlic, we're also adding all of it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, gotta add all that. Gotta add all that. Oh, my God, it already smells so good.
Stir. I stirred, you stir. And Lori films.
So that's interesting.
So this is saffron. We're going to
Oh,
add
that's
a
the
little bit.
saffron? Oh, wow, only, wait, did he say,
Remember the
A little bit
flour?
of water.
but did he say to add that at the beginning or the end?
Well, he said after the last 10 minutes, but. That oil on the
But that's why I asked, because that would be why I cooked, my husband was in the kitchen. Is that from the jar or just not salted lemon juice?
It's natural lemon juice. We just produce a very big quantity, so we keep it in a jar.
But it's not, it's not
It's not
juice?
salted. No, it's not salted. It's natural lemon juice. We add them.
How many lemons did you use to make that big old thing? Probably like 5. Oh, I think I know. Do you often use some of the zest from the lemon? That I love.
That's just what.
Nice taste with them.
I thought she wanted to just wait. Yeah.
Wait, I lost it.
Okay, all of it. Linda, all of it.
I think we got it all.
No, it's not.
Oh, my
What
God.
is for cooking up the storm?
Then I don't dirt damage.
Some of them would need scarring. We only scar the chicken breasts. This part tends to be very dry compared to the rest of the chicken. So you want the marinade to go in, makes it a little bit more moist. So we're just going to scar it like this.
Oh, she had us do it differently. I can't deal with chicken.
I know how I do mine.
It's still cold, this chicken. It's still like a little frozen.
Oh, you gotta just work it, girl.
No, it's good for scarring, but. Same thing here. Up here or here?
Then we're gonna add the rest of the chicken and marinate.
But just no preservatives. Give me one job I can't do.
Putting this over here because these onions.
Making holes in the chicken.
We can handle anything.
Those onions go right to my eyes.
So now we're just gonna pick up our chicken pieces and place them over our onions.
You said 20 to 30.
30 minutes at
If
time.
you had time.
Would you, when you marinate, you need to put it, cover it or no?
It's best to put a cover over it. Next, now we're gonna pour all of this.
That's got to be awesome sauce. Oh my God. Wait, did you put pepper in there? Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. Now, to get the edge. Use your spoon. Okay.
I just roll it around.
That's all right. I probably shouldn't do it for the chicken.
You can swap it. I forgot
to video that one. I didn't hit on
These
the-
are all good oils to be swapping with instead of sunflower.
Which one?
Not really. That's
We have sunflower.
4 tablespoons of
I like to write
sunflower
that
oil
down.
and 4
Canola. Oh,
tablespoons.
canola.
That goes in here too.
Basically, any oil that doesn't have a taste to it, that has a high
How many? 3? 3?
Yeah. 3.
Just like the olive oil.
Sunflower.
Yep,
I think the people who love vegetable had the hardest time.
Oh, I know.
It's the most work.
Carrots, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, zucchini, eggplant, turnips. And I think there were beans also.
Pour it over the beef. From now, just gonna go for around 5 minutes.
I'm glad to do
Which is easier. Okay. Mash our almonds. Deep fry them until they're golden
Okay,
brown.
and this gets enough?
Enough?
Okay.
What did we put in?
That's it?
So we have what, carrots and potatoes and
Zucchini.
zucchini?
You want what?
And beans.
A turnip?
This turnip.
Okay. And this gets peeled, right? Okay.
They say lettuce, turnip, and peas.
Turnips.
Bunch black pepper. Big bunch. Oh, there's still peppers. Spice. I like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to call it down.
That's okay.
My vegetables this week.
I love roasted vegetables.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right.
So apricots
Caramels.
and prunes.
Okay. It's too heavy, I can stand it.
You gotta hold it. Go.
Catch up. Good.
This is a tangine. Now she's using the bellows to, I guess, make the charcoal go faster.
Come on, she's here. What do you mean, gentlemen? She's also here.
I didn't get Rachel in it.
Well, first.
Oh my God, that smells so good.
And then we're gonna leave it. With time, of course, the water is going to continue evaporation. We're going.
What they say about chicken. Yes.
We're gonna leave the
A
spoon.
lot of turmeric. What do you use wormwood for? Okay.
Welcome to the garden. This is the aromatic garden that we have here in Amman. We're making Moroccan tea. I'm sure you had plenty of Moroccan tea by the time you got here. It's like the national drink.
It's good.
Thank you. Most of it was also mint tea. Mint is a very abundant herb that we have here, so we like to add it a lot in tea. It's also a very refreshing herb. So with our high temperatures, weather most of the year, it makes sense for us to want to be refreshed all of the time. So we drink a lot of mint. But it is not the only herb that you can add to your Moroccan tea. You can add any herb that you have, fresh or dried. Today we have access to like more than 7 herbs in this garden. We're going to be picking a few of them, mixing all of them in the same teapot. That way you get a nice cocktail of different flavors instead of just mint. We will still cut out mint. We have different beds of mint. They're all different types of mint as well, but they all taste like mint basically. If you want to tell them, some of them are green, you can look at the shape and the texture of the leaves. Some leaves are very fuzzy, like apple mint, it's very fuzzy, it has like a peach-like texture. And then other mint over there, it's more rough, and then you will find some leaves that are round and flat. All of it is mint, all of it is delicious. We're going to be picking around 15 stems of mint. Try to cut it from the middle as opposed to close to the root. You cut it close to the roots, it takes time to grow, while when you cut it on the middle, it grows back very easily. So we want to let it grow back, that way Father Friday is not mad at us for cutting his mint. So we're going to cut around 15 stems of mint, and then we're going to add a few more herbs to our mix to add like a refreshing, nice agent. Those are going to be the lemon geranium, or sweet geranium, or citronnelle. They're all the same names for that plant, or this one over here. It has the small pink flowers. We're going to be cutting the leaves, not the flowers. They have a very nice smell. You can smell it straight from cutting the leaves themselves. Because it's already very lemony, we're going to complement it with some lemongrass. In Asian cuisine, they like to add the root of the lemongrass already in their cooking. Today, instead of adding the root, we're going to add the leaves instead. If you want to smell the leaves, crush the lemongrass a little bit and then smell it. It has a very citrusy fragrance, very, very powerful, nice fragrance to it. So geranium, 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 lemongrass, and then marjoram with a little bit of thyme. Finally, some sage. So this is going to be the mix for today. Mint will be the base. So we have mint, marjoram, geranium, lemongrass, sage, and thyme, making it 6 herbs.
Do you need? I'm not going to. 15. If anybody else wants to share, that's fine. All right. So
Also need lemongrass, marjoram,
so this is a whole
geranium,
stem from the half, right?
sage.
How many leaves
that
of
good?
geranium?
7.
7. Oh,
Doing the geraniums.
Are you tomatoes over there growing over trees? The ones that are folded over, the little...
In the mint.
What is it?
This is wormwood, or santorino, or Cosson lavender. It's all named the same.
And what's the other?
Rachel doing the sage.
There was a nice container that I saw online.
Karen, what are you cutting?
Marjoram.
One day here. What is this?
This is the thyme.
To be forceful. You have to.
Karen's doing lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
En la cocina?
I gotta make sure I took everything out of my apron. Wait a minute. Did you get that?
Oh, that's very pretty. You can take a few.
That's you.
That's one camera.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it makes you look like a football player, said the girl with narrow shoulders.
Steps of making Moroccan tea. So that way, if you would like to make it back at home, you would know exactly what's the steps. These are the teapots that we use for Moroccan tea. They all look the same. They're always made of metal, and because it's all metal, the handles get really hot, and this is what these are for. You place it right over the handles, this, and it gives it a nice look, and it helps you not burn your hand when you're pouring the tea. For Moroccan tea, everything is happening in the same space, so right here, there is a little built-in filter in the teapot. That way, everything you put inside stays in the teapot. So, base of all Moroccan tea is going to be green tea. This is the green tea that we use. It's called green gunpowder tea. Called gunpowder because of its color and shape, basically. Thank you. So this one, they take the tea leaves and then they let them dry. While they're drying, they coil up and then they get crushed lightly. It gives them the shape and color. We put it in our hand, it looks like little grains. All of these little grains that you see here, these are all tea leaves. When we're going to boil the tea, it's going to completely unfold and you can see the whole leaf that has now opened from these little grains. Itself, we have two options when preparing this tea. Either to wash the tea, that way you reduce some of that bitterness, that sourness that's innate to this green tea, or you completely skip the wash and you just want to boil it really well. That way you get a more concentrated, a stronger flavor in your tea. Most Moroccans like it the second way. So if you order tea, it's going to be a little bit concentrated, a little bit too dark, and avoid shaking your teapot. In a moment you will see why. Mostly we do not wash our tea, but today, because we have 6 aromatic herbs that were added into our teapot, we do not want the taste of gunpowder to overshadow all of the other tastes in the tea. So we're going to wash it. That way it's going to break that intensity a little bit, and you can actually enjoy all of the different herbs and the different tastes that are going to be in the teapot. So first step, we want to add the green tea inside, and then we need boiling hot water. We pour about 1 cup of boiling hot water over the tea leaves, and then you want to let it sit. The time that it sits, the boiling water is going to cause all of the tea leaves to start opening. When they open, they turn the water into concentrated tea. That concentrated cup is called ruh, the soul or the essence in Arabic. So it's as if we're extracting tea that is so concentrated that you're extracting the very soul of the tea. We put it in a cup, set it aside, that way we don't lose all of those good qualities of the tea that get secreted in the water instantly upon contact. Second step is when we'll actually wash the tea. So 1 more cup of water, swirl it really well. That swirling motion is picking up all of the residues and everything, all of that bitterness from the green tea, and you end up with lighter tea. Also changes the color of the water, so you will see 2 completely different cups. It's the first cup that they throw away. Basically, whichever cup you shake is the one you throw away. So if you shake the first cup, you throw it away. If you shake the second cup, you throw it away. So whichever one we start churning, that's the one that we remove. So this is our first cup. You don't need to let this sit for too long. The longer that it sits, the darker the color is going to be. But just the time that all of the tea leaves open is also okay. So second time, we shake. shake it, you'll see how the color of the water is going to change.
Oh. Oh, that's so interesting.
It's like magician last night.
Yeah.
Gun.
These are the 2 cups that we end up with.
Wow. Because that has the residue.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has all of those residues and that bitterness and that very strong taste in the green tea.
Wow.
So this one, we extract it because we want to put it back in the teapot. So the first one, it goes back in.
Wow.
That's why they do that.
Interesting.
While the second one, you can let it cool down, water your plants with it. If you have any house plants, good. You can just throw it away. Or if you don't like someone in the group, you give it to them. It goes back in, fill it with boiling hot water, and then we put everything on the stove top to bring it to a boil again.
Oh, it is? You have that? You have to get your tank filled?
To the top, it creates a little barrier. That's how you know that it started boiling. Alright.
Oh, look at that.
This is how it boils.
Versus the dried.
Oh,
You see it?
yeah. Interesting.
Oh, wow. It's growing.
Overflowing.
The biggest amount.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Alright.
Came up.
So now, we just pick the leaves. Open, open, open. See now, the whole leaf
Wow.
has
Yeah.
opened up from the
Yeah.
little grains. So that's the grains from earlier. These are all of the herbs that we've cut from the garden. We've washed them, of course, and then we're going to add a very nice, generous amount of all of these herbs right into our teapots. So when we add our mint, no need to only pick the leaves of the mint. You can add the entire thing, stem, leaves, and all of it. And it's nice to have a good bouquet, a nice generous amount of all of the leaves that you want. That way you get a very good flavor out of your tea. So this is our leaves, and this is our sugar.
Wow.
That's the biggest container, the sugar.
I love it.
Alright, so maximum sugar that we can add is around 3 sugars. This is gonna be sweet, like Moroccan sweet. You can say Moroccan sweet confidently because our sweetness scale is a little bit broken. You know, a 10 out of 10 for everyone else would be like a 2 out of 10 for us. It's like we love sugar. But if you do not like that sweet, you can add 2 sugars. 2 sugars is basically the perfect middle. It's not too sweet, it's not sour at all because it removes that sourness and it brings out the flavors from all of these herbs. 1 sugar is basically no sugar, almost. The difference between 1 sugar and no sugar, both of them are still not sweet, but the 1 sugar will have more tastes of all of the herbs compared to the no sugar one. With the no sugar option, you will mostly taste the green tea no matter what you add to your teapot. No matter how the concentration is, how many herbs, doesn't matter. You add a little bit of sugar, it swaps things out. The green tea falls behind and it's more the mint and the herbs that come forward. If we need to add more sugar, we're like always welcome to add more sugar. So you add your mint, you push it down with the sugar. This. And then you want to mix everything.
Is that like a tablespoon? One of those sugar?
Tablespoon and a half, or
Okay.
maybe 2 tablespoons, because it's very condensed. So, when we want to mix, since we're not really allowed to shake the teapot, if you shake it, it's going to become like this all over again. And then if you stir it with a spoon, it's gonna dilute the sugar, but that's it. You're just gonna dilute the sugar and like mix it with everything else. You want to also aerate your tea to bring the flavors back to life. So best way to do this is to pour it in a cup and to pour it back inside. So this does 2 things. It creates a flow in your teapot to mix everything, and it also aerates your tea. The more oxygen that you introduce, the better the flavors are going to develop. And that's also why we like to pour it from high. The higher you go, the more it aerates, and it creates these little bubbles on top. Also, it's
So how many times would you do it, right, on an average?
3, 4, 5 times. Depends on your mood. You can go up to 20.
How much time you got?
Right. So this teapot is ready. We're going to be serving everyone who wants 2 sugars, and then the 1 sugar is on its way.
That's for serving the tea.
I'll start with this one. This is snowball cookie. Snowball is basically 2 pieces of cookies, orange blossom water, entire orange zest, and once it's done, you plunge it in apricot jam, you roll everything in shredded coconuts.
Oh.
That's this one. This is Moroccan biscotti. Also has a very mild flavor of orange blossom water that's coming from the almonds. Has a lot of roasted almonds. These almonds have been sitting in orange blossom water overnight before we roast them, and then you add everything to the batter, and then you cook it twice, just like a biscotti. This one on top, it's called ghriba. Very soft, crumbly cookie. A lot of cinnamon, sesame, and roasted almonds. This one is mamoul. Mamoul is basically shortbread with a paste of dates and almonds on the inside, decorating everything with icing sugar. And then at the very top, we have different flavors of shortbread. This one is with chocolate. This one is salted caramel with almonds. All right? Okay. And more snowballs. Enjoy.
And they got apricots and prunes and walnuts.
So rub it out on the stove.
This one's getting walnut.
يقول لك يحطيهم الخبز يهزوه يديوه معاهم. يلا ركينا هذاك الخبز. حاول راحة.
This is the chicken one.
Which one this is?
Which one? Is that the beef?
Beautiful.
Lamb. I think that's lamb. Is that the lamb or the beef?
Now what is